Morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing okay. I've kind of recovered from the last video where I almost went into cardiac arrest from pure rage going into Quantum's video responding to the drama. And yeah, today we are back again to take a look at another video that he has posted. And honestly, this dude just cannot stop lying. Like, this dude like he obviously has he suffers from narcissism, not just like as like, oh, he's narcissistic. No, like, this dude legitimately has a mental disorder, I think, at this point, where no matter what anyone says, no matter what is objectively right or wrong, he can do no wrong. Everyone in the world who disagrees with him is wrong. He stands alone as a pillar and a beacon of just what is right in this world and how the world should work. Like, honestly, I do not know what is wrong with this man at this point. But yeah, anyway, today we're going to be getting into another god-awful video. This one's somehow even worse than the one we covered, what was it now, 2 days ago. And yeah, I've decided for this video, if you saw my pinned comment on the last video, I already went into this, but I'm going to run a bit of an experiment with the algorithm, and I'm going to, because basically the video we're going to be responding to is 37 minutes long, I think, 36, 37 minutes long. So what I was thinking I'd do is I'd chop this like session into two parts. So we'll respond to the first half of the video on this part, and then I'll have another video out tomorrow responding to the second half of it, because like, as fun as it was making that 2-hour video, I don't think I can go through something like that again. And also, you know, I don't think people are as likely to click on a video if it's, you know, over 2 hours long. So yeah, with that being said, enough rambling from me. Let's get into this video that is somehow even worse than the one we looked at yesterday.
Hey, I want to apologize to all of my regular fans. Like, truly and sorry, seriously sorry, that you guys have to keep going through this.
Trust me, dude, you need to apologize to way more than your fans. You need to apologize to every single person on the internet and every person you have threatened in real life, like the Act Man's mother and the Act Man himself. And honestly, you just need to leave forever, because nobody likes you on this entire platform, and it would honestly be better off without you. And I don't say that lightly.
We'll get back to normal content. We'll start doing our comparisons and all that other stuff, but we do have to address this one final time. So disregard this video if you're not interested. If you just want to hear what I have to say anyway, then stay through till the end.
Oh, don't worry, dude. We're going to sit here for all painful 37 minutes of it, and my God, I have a feeling this is going to be even worse than last time.
For everybody else, we're going to talk about the hypocrisy that you guys are putting out there. The first thing I take a major protest to and have a big problem with is this labeling me, saying that I've sent a text message to Act Man's mother threatening her. I've never actually done that a single day in my life.
Yeah, I've never seen any proof of you texting Act Man's mother or anything, but what we do have proof of you doing is, and he actually posted this in his own video, we literally have proof of him threatening his mother over the phone, and he's going to try to claim multiple times throughout this video that, oh, no, guys, it wasn't a threat. It wasn't a veiled threat. I never said anything like that. Yes, you did, dude. You threatened this woman, and now you're just trying to downplay it because, you know, you're a pathological liar. It's in your nature. But on top of being a pathological liar, I didn't know you were also a conspiracy theorist, because apparently now Act Man's mother is actually telling the Act Man to hurt this guy and act like he had no idea that his mother was involved in the first place. Like, what is this video, dude? We're like, what, 20 or 30 seconds in? Like, what is this?
And in fact, it kind of sounds like she's inciting him to do something dangerous or violent or commit some crime with, you know, just don't do something that links back to you. I mean, go ahead and try it, but don't do anything he can link to you. Good luck, hon, he's a nut, kind of thing. Like, it doesn't really sound like she's trying to defuse the situation at all, even though she called me back.
Yeah, she called you back to make sure it was actually you and it wasn't just like a troll with a pre-recorded message or anything like that. Also, you guys heard that, right? He literally just said right there, he basically just admitted to threatening them. He literally said they felt so threatened by me. Like, they were so threatened by me that this. So, like, I know this is a bit of a reach, but so basically you're admitting that you threatened them. You're saying they were so threatened by you. Like, really, dude? Are you really going to admit to threatening them right after you said you didn't on camera?
She was so threatened, she called me back. And magically, Act Man was so threatened on the 23rd of April. And that video where I show the timestamp, and literally, like, all this is timestamped,
Okay, so I just need to point this out now because this is going to be a major point throughout the rest of the video. This dude is literally bragging in this video about how he recorded the phone call between him and the Actman's mother and uploaded it to YouTube. And in fact, he has an entire 7-minute part of one of his previous videos dedicated to playing the phone call. Now, I didn't play the phone call last video, and I'm not going to play this video because 1, it's too long, and 2, I'm not going to get in any legal trouble for anything because he literally broke the law. He admitted he lives in Florida, and if you do research on Florida's consent law when it comes to recording phone calls, Florida has a 2-party consent law, meaning that both parties who are in the phone call have to consent to it being recorded and published. The Actman's mother not once ever consented to it being recorded or published. Quantum recorded it and published it without her knowing it. Therefore, he has broken that Florida law, and that is punishable with up to 5 years in prison. So that crime alone, putting aside all the other crimes he's committed, that crime alone should end him in jail for several years at least.
You can hear the surveillance footage of what I said, and then you can also see the outgoing call on the 23rd. And then magically that day on the 23rd, the Actman says, "I'm moving on." It wasn't until my Power of an Apology video came out where I mentioned that I contacted his mother, where I guess he got embarrassed and upset by that he decided that he was going to make a death threat veiled, as I'm just some concerned homeowner. Oh, no, I would if you come to my family. No, this was an unprovoked death threat.
So let me get this straight. He said he was done with the drama, and then you reached out and contacted his mother, and now you're surprised that he's getting back into the drama. What kind of mouth-breathing Neanderthal would be done with something, and then as soon as someone they're related to is in danger, they would just continue to ignore it? How stupid can you be? But also, how do you have the audacity to say that this was unprovoked? By the way, it wasn't a death threat. It was a self-defense threat. Because if you ever show up to his house, then he absolutely has the right to shoot on sight. That's what we have the Second Amendment for, that beautiful, beautiful Second Amendment. But anyway, how do you have the gall to say that this was unprovoked? You literally tracked down one of his family members' personal information in real life. How is this unprovoked? You have shown time and time again that you are mentally insane and that you would likely hurt someone in real life over this situation. This was not unprovoked in any way. This was 100% provoked, and he had every right to say that.
And we can prove that because I have the surveillance footage that was running in my home at the time I made the call to your mother, and that she called me back. Those two things alone prove that you did a criminal crime. You're criminal crime.
I'm honestly already done. Oh yeah, guys, I recorded the conversation on the phone unconsensually, so I broke the law, and therefore that proves that this person who said he's going to defend himself if this mentally deranged man shows up to his house and tries to hurt him, apparently because I broke the law, that proves that somebody else committed a crime. What is this logic? I think the only way I'd be able to understand this logic is if I artificially lowered my IQ, because I don't think there's any way any sane person could understand the logic of you committing a crime means that someone else is at fault for it. What are you talking about?
A criminal act. You're literally doing things to incite a mob to come after me because you don't like that I found you off of, again, Yellow Pages, hello, and I did so just to contact you.
I just don't even know what to say anymore. What do you mean to contact him? You did not reach out to his personal information. You did not get his mother's personal information to reach out to him, because you two had already talked on Discord before. He has screenshots proving that. And in those same screenshots, he proved that he tried to call you on Discord multiple times. So don't even try to pull the excuse of, oh, I just wanted to talk to him on the phone. You could have very easily joined a Discord voice chat with him, but apparently not, because you have to find some way to justify finding his family's personal information. Yeah, sure. Okay, bud. Also, if anyone's inciting a mob, it's you, because Actman and all these other people who are making videos on you, including myself, we are not censoring our comment sections. You are only allowing comments that say good things about you to be commented. No one else is doing that. Everyone else is allowing all comments on their videos, but you are filtering out all the ones that have anything negative to say about you. How is anyone else inciting a mob when you are the only one censoring your comment section?
Just the fact that I tried to contact you by, again, reaching out to next of kin, I guess upsets you. But
yeah, tracking down someone's mother's personal information in real life, yes, that is creepy. And again, you're trying to justify this by saying, oh, you were trying to contact him. You already had contact with this man through Discord. What do you mean you were trying to contact him? You already had contact with him, you absolute idiot.
In that respect, and anybody who's ever reached out to anyone's next of kin to reach someone else, I guess they're just creepy for that. It's ridiculous that this is the mindset, but we know what it is. If we look at the behavior of people like Mischief and Review Tech USA, who make apologies for racists and people who support child pornography and child predator behavior, then it's very obvious what's going on here.
Right there is slander, which is a federal crime. You cannot make accusations about somebody with no evidence to back it up. Show any evidence at all of either of these people supporting child pornography. Go ahead, do it. I challenge you.
I mean, literally look at Mischief on February 22nd, where he makes a video talking about, Fertanga Plays and or whatever his name is, and the Actman are trying to be canceled by PlayStation fanboys for racism. It's not that they're trying to be canceled by fanboys. It's that when you have a history of attacking people and insulting them and harassing them, and they look into you and they say, hey, what are you all about?
Actually, they were trying to get canceled by PlayStation fanboys because, PlayStation fanboys are not too intelligent. They don't take too kindly to when people call them out for being gatekeeping little pieces of crap. And you would know because you happen to be a PlayStation fanboy. Please, by the way, go check out my video on that. Anyway. Once again, slander. Prove that any of this was said. Prove that the Axeman and Fertanga Plays and Mischief have said things against the LGBTQ community. Please prove that they've said things against the Jewish community, because honestly, dude, this just sounds like projection, because this is exactly what you have done this whole time, and you've just been playing dumb about it. You've been like, oh no, it's been hackers, even though we've proven multiple times it's not hackers. But that's what I meant when I said this dude just has a massive ego. Literally nothing you say against him is apparently proof, even if it 100% is, because he's just so right, because he's Quantum TV.
And then stuff pops up on you because you're a YouTube celebrity. And one of those things is that you told people to slit their wrists. You're dropping the N-word on multiple occasions.
Yeah, but the thing is here is that if they did get caught saying these things that you have no proof to back up, but if you show proof, I'll be happy to believe you. But yeah, the thing is here is that they do apologize when they screw up, and they do own it. The difference between you and them is you have not apologized or owned up to anything. You have just denied everything, and you've said that, oh, it wasn't you, it was trolls, it was impersonators, it was hackers, which again, Review Tech USA has all the receipts and proof pointing against that, so don't even try to pull that.
You have very choice words against the gay community. You have very choice words against Jewish people and all this other stuff. Like things that you and your community of friends have said collectively is just the worst. And when you get caught saying these horrible things, you guys come out and you make these disingenuous apology videos and you say oh, but I apologize and I owned it. And all should be forgiven. And don't ever bring it up again. And it's that mindset. It's like, man, you guys really strike me as those people who went to college and were the guys getting accused of sexual assault. And then the moment you apologize for it, you demanded everybody let it go because you were a kid with a bright future. That's how you guys act. And it's in your history of your behavior. It's not just me coming up with a claim. That's how this comes off, right?
Kind of like how homophobia and racism are in your history. But no, let's just ignore that because it was just those damn hackers.
At least to me. Now, the thing that really gives it away is that Mischief runs to Review Tech USA saying things like, oh, I guess Quantum found his new chew toy when I was sent all those things about you, Actman. And then kind of says that oh, never mind the fact that he disavowed them 4 times.
Yeah, and guess what? Disavowing something isn't enough. You could so easily lie and say, oh, yeah, guys, that stuff that was posted, that was disgusting. But deep down, you really mean the opposite. Because, Quantum, you have proven to be a pathological liar. Why would anyone believe you that you actually sincerely meant those apologies? Or not even apologies. Sorry, what am I saying? Because you haven't apologized for crap. Why would anyone believe you disavowing those tweets when you have a known history of lying about literally everything?
That's funny coming from you, Mischief, considering like I've disavowed those hacked tweets on multiple occasions. And it's funny that you guys say that we've proved that it wasn't a hack, as if you have surveillance video placing me in some public library, typing out those tweets with like timestamps and, you know, logs of like every keystroke I made on that day. And at the same breath and token, like you guys want to sit there and act like there's a photograph of me sending something like that and like gloating about it or something. There's nothing like that.
Okay, by this logic, Actman never made that threat to defend himself from you, because how can you prove that he sat down and typed out those tweets at a public library? How can you, like, find the keystrokes history and whatever you just said? Like, how can you prove that he actually sent them? How do you know it wasn't a hacker? Like, by your own logic, this is absolute, like, you have literally disproven yourself with your own logic in a single sentence. It is absolutely unfathomable how stupid you are.
And I find it very funny, and I think most people with a brain would find it very odd and suspicious that I tell you I got hacked in 2018, and then all the tweets that you pull up are from 2018, and then all of the negative posts you pull up are from 2018.
Yeah, well, see, Quantum, the problem with that little thing is you never said you got hacked in 2018, and I brought this point up in my last video. You never said anything about getting hacked in 2018 until after people pulled up those tweets, and I already said this in my last video, so I'll summarize it again in this video. If you really got hacked back in 2018 and you knew those tweets existed, why were they still up for all that time? You claim it damages your brand. Why did you let those tweets stay up all that time? And why have you not mentioned the hack anywhere else on the internet until right now when it's most convenient for you? I wonder why. It's almost like he was never hacked in the first place and that he's a pathological lying little crap.
When I told you I got hacked. It's very convenient how that works, right? Very convenient how all this stuff falls in line with what I told you. But again, when you disavow something, it means something. When I disavow something, it's a lie. It's hypocrite. It's a hypocrisy. Like you.
Yeah, because you're the only pathological liar in this entire situation. If the other people in the situation were pathological liars, then their disavowing wouldn't mean anything either. But you are the only one who has proven to be mentally unstable in this entire situation. So, yes, you are the only one whose disavowing means nothing.
You want to say what you think, but not listen to what others say. And I think that's the danger here, because now you guys are kind of running with like he's a bigot, he's a homophobe, he's a transphobe. You're just trying to weaponize the gay community against me. Because if we look at your history, you've said a lot of really, really anti-gay stuff, Actman. Like, really bad.
Well, then riddle me this, Mr. Quantum TV. If they were really trying to weaponize the gay community, and they had a history of saying extremely homophobic things, and apparently all your homophobic things were just hacked, then why is the gay community siding with the Actman and Review Tech USA? Why are all these people who they were supposedly speaking out against, why are they siding with these people who you claim are extremely homophobic and not with you? I wonder why. Maybe it's because nobody believes your pathetic little lies.
Right. And I mean, it gets to the point where it's just like when you have Mischief apologizing for that, when you have Review Tech USA apologizing for that, saying, yeah, they were terrible, but, you know, they owned up to it and they didn't try to use whataboutisms to try to like dismiss it or deflect. I'm not deflecting. I straight up didn't do the shit, so I'm not going to own something I didn't do.
Quantum, I know you're a pathological liar, and I know you're mentally insane, but we need to talk one-on-one here for a second, buddy. Like, I don't care if you're a pathological liar. Literally, no one believes you at this point. Like, I think that should be pretty obvious by now. Just, like, own it at this point, dude. You literally could not stoop any lower. The only way you could stoop any lower than you have right now is if you actually showed up to someone's house and hurt them in real life. That is the only way you could stoop any lower than you have right now. Just admit it at this point, dude. Not a single person besides a couple of your fanboys in your audience actually believes believe you now, and that's because you've been censoring everything that they see so they can't follow the drama properly. Not a single person with a functioning synapse in their brain actually believes you. Give it up, dude.
When I make a mistake, I own it outright and I say, you know what? Damn, I was wrong. But this isn't one of those examples, and no matter how much you cry for spilled milk, I'm not going to fucking put it in a bottle and breastfeed it to you, okay?
First of all, name one time you've ever come out and admitted you were wrong. Second of all, how stupid are you? If you put milk in a bottle, you cannot breastfeed it. You would be feeding it through the bottle, you actual mental midget.
Or whatever, or feed it through the bottle to you. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just not how the world works, okay? The world doesn't revolve around your talking points.
Kind of like how the world doesn't revolve around you and what you deem to be right and wrong, which is why no matter how hard you try to downplay it, you have abused the copyright system, you have committed slander, you have committed perjury, you have threatened people, and you are going to be terminated because of it, and there is nothing you can do about it. No matter how much you lie about it, nothing is going to change that.
As you would so generously like to think. And this concept now that, like, even Asmongold jumps up and, like, tells a lie, like Quantum Text, Ackman's mother, and he threatened violence against her and all this shit, and then even follows it up where if somebody did that to my mother, I'd want to shoot them too. Like, you guys are really making this a nasty situation for no reason. I never threatened anyone, and you both know that.
Are you actually kidding me? You never threatened anyone? Hold on, wait, guys, give me a second. I'm going to pull up the screenshot right now. You said in the phone conversation with Actman's mother, quote, "We wouldn't want anyone to get hurt or families to get involved with this, now would we?" And then you said to the Actman himself, and I'm quoting this 100%, quote, "Given the last conversation I had with your mother, I figured you'd leave me alone." You are actually mentally insane, and you absolutely have threatened this woman and her family. Don't even try to play dumb. And like I said earlier, Actman was absolutely right to threaten violence against you. In fact, I shouldn't even say that. He didn't even really threaten violence against you. He threatened self-defense against you because you threatened violence against him.
And the surveillance footage shows that very clearly. And if you think it's fake surveillance footage because I blacked it out to conceal what was going on in the background in my own household where my family members were moving around freely, well, you can look at the timestamp dated for April 23rd and then the outgoing call log that I provided, and then the 23rd where Actman magically says he's moving on, and then after the apology video that I put up, the power of an apology video, magically wants to get triggered, and then all these threats magically happened after I called his mother.
Again, openly admitting to violating Florida's two-party consent law. But also, again, I don't know why you're trying to, why are you upset at the Actman that he is concerned that you found his mother's personal information and contacted her and threatened her? You are genuinely surprised that he is upset by that? Dude, you have officially lost all touch with reality, and you need to get off this platform and off the internet forever. It will be a better place without you.
Like, you guys really need to look at things full picture and stop playing games here, because this is a witch hunt, and it's happening because you guys wanted to steal my content and harass me and damage the original videos. Because when I made those Elden Ring videos, you guys wanted to do your so-called takes on my video, which turned into harassment, which turned into people coming from your channel to ratio out my content, which destroys its ability to profit on the market.
Those were not harassment videos. They were videos criticizing your terrible take on Elden Ring, and they were calling you out for, telling people to go kill themselves if they liked Elden Ring, which you claim, oh, I meant in the video game. No, you didn't, dude. Don't even try to pull that. Shut up. But also, people ratioing your videos does not affect the monetization of the videos. I don't even make money on YouTube, and I know that, it would be nice to do that one day. Please hit the sub button, guys, to help me reach there. But anyway, dislikes on a video do not affect how much money that video is capable of making. A like and a dislike pay the same. It's not like you're going to get paid more for getting more likes. It's not like you're going to get paid less for getting more dislikes. And also, if anything, these guys probably helped you monetarily, because now all these people who are clicking on your videos to leave dislikes, they're giving you ad revenue. They're giving you views, which all translates into more money for you. And I know for a fact that your most popular recent videos have all been covering this topic, which I believe is honestly why you continue to perpetuate this drama, because you just want to keep milking money off of it because you see the really high dollar signs and you like it.
which in turn makes it no longer fair use, which is the sole reason I fucking ever filed a copyright infringement claim against you.
Little problem with that, bud. Even if it was harassment, it still would have been fair use. You could have filed a harassment claim against them, but even if the videos on you were harassment, that still doesn't mean that they're not fair use. So yeah, those videos were 100% fair use. You like to deny it, but literally all it takes is a quick Google search of the Fair Use Act of 1976 to figure out that all those videos were indeed fair use, including the ones I've made on you and the one I'm making on you right now. So Mr. Quantum TV, if you are watching this video, I dare you to false strike these videos. I dare you. I implore you to do it. See what happens.
You use a certain percentage of it and you cause damages, and you use all the stuff containing my imagery, and then you act like it's not a big deal. Like, no harm can be done from destroying someone's reputation.
You are the only one who has destroyed your reputation. You destroyed it the second you put out those homophobic and racist and transphobic tweets. No one has destroyed your reputation except you. These people have just brought your destroyed reputation to light.
But if it happened to you, I guarantee you'd be whining, pissing, bitching, and moaning. You're the first people to claim you don't like abusers, you don't like, bullies, and you sit there and you literally indulge in the same behavior you say that you're not for. Time and time again with these false lies that I'm unhinged, I'm dangerous on the platform.
Yeah, a mentally insane pathological liar is definitely the definition of unhinged, dude. Like, you are 100% unhinged. There is no other way to dispute it. And I love this logic. Oh, I'm the only one who agrees with myself. Nobody else agrees with me. Therefore, everyone is unhinged except for me. You really have to love that logic. Also, yes, someone who false strikes videos is a danger to a platform. Yes, that is absolutely true.
I've been reviewing TVs long before you guys have ever started talking about me. The way you guys flock to controversy, you would think that you would have run into my name a couple of different fucking times if I actually was unhinged and dangerous. But the fact is, that's not a fucking thing.
Yeah, and do you know why no one ran into you until now? Because you never were abusing the copyright system and doing any of this illegal activity until right now. As far as I know, the only thing you did before now was say a few homophobic things and transphobic and racist things on Twitter. That's all I know of, and of course, it's Twitter, so it's going to be swept under the bus right away, and you were a nobody back then, you're a nobody now, so of course, nobody's going to hear anything of it. Also, another reason nobody ever heard of you before this is because, you kind of got banned off of YouTube for, harassment and cyberbullying in the first place. So how exactly are people supposed to hear about you if you have to restart your entire channel from zero? Just explain that one to me, bud.
You're just running with that because you think it sounds good to your community, not realizing that all you're doing is just making this a really bad situation because you don't like me. You want me off the platform and you think that's the best way of getting the job done.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But let me just kind of put this out there. All you guys have to understand, when you claim that somebody said something or you report something to YouTube, YouTube is an unbiased party. They're going to look at all the evidence and all the facts about this creator on the platform. And when they conclude, as they have, that I have not done a single fucking thing but make TV videos and I'm not actually some unhinged, dangerous person that needs to be deplatformed, then you're going to sit there and run with what Actman is doing right now, what Asm Gold is doing right now.
I actually find it funny that you mentioned that because around the time you upload this video, the Actman was in a meeting with some contacts at YouTube in an attempt to get you banned. So your days are numbered, buddy. And by days, I mean days. I guarantee this guy's gone within a week to a month, honestly, at this point. I don't know why YouTube hasn't banned this clown yet, but they seriously need to. Also, again, these lies weren't false. They are 100% true, and they're backed up with evidence.
Well, if we can't get him terminated because he's clean, well, then we can try to make him dirty by saying that he committed a crime, and we'll just come up with some lie that he texted your mother. This level of hatred is insane, and it's so outlandish. All you had to do, Actman, was call me back. I gave you my number through your mother. That was the sole purpose of me reaching out to your next of kin.
This just feels like projecting at this point. All you had to do, dude, was accept the Actman's call and Mischief's calls on Discord. That's all you had to do. You cannot deny a call from someone and then blame them when the situation escalates, and then you try to say, oh, you should have just called me back when I called you weeks later. No, dude, they tried to call you first, and you denied it on multiple attempts of them trying to get you into a conversation with them. This dude is a professional victim.
If you really honestly wanted to talk, you could have, and you didn't. I don't have any interest in having a Discord conversation or talking on voice chat. I want to talk where you're not recording it, and where if you record it, you're violating two-party consent laws. That's why I didn't join the call, by the way.
And this brings back that two-party consent law I was talking about earlier. Dude, you literally broke the two-party consent law because you admitted to recording an unconsensual conversation between yourself and the act man's mother, and then you posted it. You literally admitted to breaking the two-party consent law, and now you're trying to call out the act man for theoretically maybe he would break the two-party consent law in the future. You are an absolute joke of a human being. Imagine calling someone out for something they didn't do when you literally admitted earlier in your own damn video and in previous videos that you did that exact thing. Also, you say, oh yeah, I don't want to join a Discord call because you might be recording it, but then you literally admitted that he could have recorded if you had a phone call as well. What do you even have to complain about at this point?
I want to make sure that there's no audience. I want to make sure that there's nothing. There's just two people talking to resolve their differences. And you didn't want to do that because, case in point, you shared all the private messages that we had the same way Griffin Gaming shared every email that I had.
Kind of like how you shared the private conversation that was 7 minutes long that you had with the act man's mother that was completely unconsensual and she never consented to you showing to the internet in the first place. Like, dude, you are the most hypocritical, narcissistic, professional victim I've ever seen.
And even, you know, it's funny because every time you guys make damaging content, I do try to reach out to you and tell you, you guys have caused harm with this kind of nonsense. And I love that you guys are like, oh, Quantum makes death threats. It's okay when he does it. I didn't make a death threat. I literally quoted what Florida law says. It's a stand your ground state.
Again, complete hypocrite. It's completely okay for him to threaten self-defense against other people when they threaten him, but when he threatens the act man and the act man says he's going to defend himself, that's not okay. That's a threat. That's gun violence. Which, how does this dude, I forgot to mention this, how does this dude have the gall and the audacity to lecture people on gun violence when he literally wished that more gay people would have died in the Pulse nightclub shooting? You have to be one of the trashiest, evil human beings I have seen on the entire internet.
And when people are saying that they're going to show up to my house with guns, they're going to bash my head in, they're going to do all kinds of unspeakable things to my wife and my girls, like, if you're going to go with that narrative, I'm just going to say that, listen, it's literally a stand your ground state. Like, if you show up doing any of that stuff, well, at the end of the day, I will have to stand my ground against that. Like, that's not a death threat to any specific person at all. Like, that's literally just saying, like, I will defend myself if you guys want to bring these violent threats and act on the death threats.
Which is exactly what happened with you and the act man. You threatened to hurt him and his family by very passively and like in a very veiled way, intentionally. You did that intentionally so you could say, oh, guys, I never threatened anyone. I just worded it poorly. No, dude, you said, oh, guys, it would sure be a shame if someone's family were to get involved in this or if someone were to get hurt in this. Like, you literally said that. That is a veiled threat, my guy. And the act man said he is going to defend himself if you, a mentally deranged lunatic, showed up at his house and tried to hurt him. He is literally doing the exact same thing you are claiming that you are doing, but apparently it's only okay when you do it.
Which again came from Griffin Gaming's Xbox video where he literally called me out and tried to do all this shit. And of course, magically, the guy lumped in with these racists, magically, the racist apologist has fans that like that kind of behavior. And like, you guys have no idea, I'm literally getting like emails of like black people hanging from trees from the 1950s with like all kinds of N-bombs being dropped right after the Act Man's video and Asm Gold's video. Like, this is the community that like wants to play like they have a moral high ground.
Okay, those people, like, we do not claim those people. If anyone's doing that, then you are sick in the head. But again, you're really going to call out other people for being racist when you literally said that Horizon Forbidden West was bad because it had too many black people in it and that made you uncomfortable.
Like, I guarantee you, if iJustine made a video about this, I wouldn't be getting like the N-bomb and like people hanging from trees and like all this stuff, like, because that's not her base. She has a channel that's about tech and usually good vibes. But you guys are about controversy and hatred, and that's the kind of people you pull in. And you want to act like nobody can potentially be harmed by your actions. And
but no one could be harmed by you if you showed up to someone's house and were actually planning on hurting them. No, nobody could be threatened or hurt by that at all. That doesn't have real world consequences. Also, like, you're acting like these people like Actman and Griffin Gaming, you're acting like they're sending their fans to do this. They have not sent their fans to do any of this stuff. They have not once told their fans to come harass you. In fact, in a lot of cases, they've told people to not go harass you because they don't want to give you the attention you so desperately seek. There are some sick people out there on the internet who do this on their own accord because they are sick people, and I guess you would know about that because you are also a sick person.
You want to try to pretend like when I said, I'm genuinely worried for your targets. Like, the people you target and harass, I'm worried about their safety. You want to act like, oh my God, this guy plays victim, doesn't he? No, you guys victimize people with your behavior. You target them. You look at them as like literally a digital scoreboard in a game, and like you have fun. You go to town with them. Even you took it as far as saying that your mother was threatened when somebody reached out to next of kin.
And do you know why the Axeman said that his mother was threatened? It's because she was threatened, and it was by you. You're trying to pass it off as saying, oh, no, I never threatened her. Yes, you did, dude. It was an obvious veiled threat. You literally said we wouldn't want people's families to get dragged into this, and we wouldn't want people to get hurt, now would we? That is the literal definition of a veiled threat.
Because how dare they find you in the real world? That's creepy.
It is creepy, and the fact that you don't think it is just immediately proves that there is something seriously wrong with you.
No, it's not, dude. It's public record. If you're, don't even trust me on this. If you think that you are so private as a person, type in your name and actually do a research or try to do any basic research on your name. I promise you, if you look into the Actman right now, you will find his full legal name. You'll find, just type Actman. Look for Actman's real name. Like, actually try to find people. You will find it. It's not hard. And the thing is, like,
maybe you can find the Actman's legal name because he's given out his legal name and people know his legal name. Unlike, people's phone numbers are not just out there. You really have to dig to find that stuff. And the fact that you went so far as to not only find the Actman's phone number, but to find his mother's phone number, like, dude, there is something seriously wrong with you, and I mean that in all sincerity.
You guys want to act like reaching out for non-malicious purposes is like literally some vigilantism or like some call to action to do something really damaging or destructive, and it's not. I'm just literally trying to say, hey, let's resolve our differences off camera because...
Well, here's the problem with that statement, Quantum, is that all these YouTubers who you mentioned have tried to resolve this with you, especially the Actman and Mischief. All of these people have tried to resolve this with you off camera. You are the only one who has refused to try and solve this issue because I guarantee you love the negative attention and you know that this is pulling in a ton of money for you, even though you claim it's hurting your monetary gain, which if it was hurting like how much money you're making, then why do you continue to persist with it? It's almost like you're lying once again.
Clearly on camera isn't working, right? You guys are sending a mob after me and it's only getting worse, right?
Again, no one is sending a mob after you. Not once have any of these YouTubers told their fan base to go harass you. Like I said earlier, in most cases, that is the exact opposite of what has happened. A lot of people have told their fan bases to not go harass you and to not give you the attention you so desperately desire. And also, you do not want to talk. You have not been trying to talk to people. You're saying, oh, I reached out to the Actman's mother so I could try to talk to him. If you really wanted to talk to him, you would have talked to him in the DMs on Discord, or you would have joined the private call. The only reason you found the Actman's mother's phone number was to threaten her, and you know it.
And then, like, when I try to be normal and, like, say, yo, let's just talk, let's not be, like, weird about it, you kind of go weird about it. Like, it's the strangest thing to me. And the fact that, like, in that text that I did see, Actman's mother's like, well, just make sure he can't link anything back to you. Go ahead and try. But, like, what the hell is that? Like, what are you planning? What are you guys trying to do? I mean, like, was this your move, like, to try to, like, slander me and, like, lie and to say, like, I did all this stuff? Like, was that what she was telling you to do? Like, because that's really bad parental advice if that's what she told you to do, but whatever.
Again, how could you possibly, like, have the gall or the nerve to call people out for slandering you? Slander is when you accuse someone of something with no evidence. We've accused you of all this stuff, and we have all the evidence we need. You've accused Review Tech USA of being the white EDP 445 with no evidence whatsoever. So that right there is the definition of slander, but according to you, it's not, because it's not what you think. And obviously, if you don't think something should be a certain way, that automatically means the entire universe abides by that rule. Like, you claim to be a Christian, you claim to praise God, but honestly, dude, you act like you are God most of the time.
And I think at the end of the day, all of this, like, trying to cancel me over tweets that are A, from the timeline I told you I was hacked, that I've disavowed like a bunch of times, and like B, like you always coming up with like constant, like, you need to answer to this or else we're going to continue to say this about you and label you. Like, it all started because you guys wanted to take content that didn't belong to you in the first place. And then the moment you started causing damages and somebody wanted to copyright claim you to try to get you to take down those videos to stop you from damaging the original video, you wanted to jump up and down and be like, that's not fair use.
Yeah, and about 10 seconds of Google research would have told you that what you did was not fair use, and you should quite honestly be in prison right now for everything you've done.
As you literally damage the original video ability to be able to profit or do anything through the amount of ratioing and all that stuff, which I can prove.
Like I explained earlier, disliking a video does not affect how much money it can make. In fact, like I explained earlier, with the amount of people that are coming to your videos to leave dislikes, you've probably made more money off of these videos than any other videos. And considering, like, you guys have been watching the footage, the amount of ads I've had to click off, you have definitely been capitalizing on that opportunity. But please, I would love to see your proof that this is hurting you monetarily. But I don't think you're going to show it because, you know what? I think he might be a pathological liar.
Right? Now, again, I don't really $10,000 care about this, and that's what it would take, in case you want to know, to file a lawsuit and go through the motion with every single person. Like $10,000 a pop. Like, straight up, I'd rather spend that money on TVs for my community, reviewing content, having fun here, or like hanging out with my family, going on trips, you know, doing fun things, putting things away into life savings. I mean, we've got inflation and a war happening, and you guys are out here like acting like somebody's going to invest that much into you and your ridiculous nonsense. It's like, yeah. Is it unfortunate that you damaged my original videos? Yeah, absolutely. You're still doing it. You're still ratioing everything out, typing L plus ratio plus maidenless. Like, I know what you guys are doing, and you know what you're doing. All of you do. It's harassment for no fucking reason.
Oh no, guys, some mean people on the internet ratioed his video. They left mean dislikes and they told him that he was maidenless. Like, is this dude actually getting triggered by the "you have no maidens" meme? Like, good God, dude. Not only are you a liar and a hypocrite, but you are also soft as hell. Also, nobody damaged your original video. You damaged it by telling Elden Ring players to go kill themselves. And speaking of which, I'll show you guys a screenshot right now. I'm actually installing Elden Ring as we speak, so feels good, man. But yeah, like I was saying, nobody damaged your original video except for you by telling people to go kill themselves if they like the video game. Nobody calling you out for that damaged your video whatsoever. Just like nobody pointing out these homophobic tweets damaged your brand. You did that the second you pushed public on those tweets.
You know, based off of what you think. Because now, I'll be very clear, was I harsh towards Elden Ring players? Absolutely. And I know that pissed them off. But then, were Elden Ring players harsh to me? Nobody asked that question. What made a guy that talks about TVs angry enough to make a bad review about Elden Ring? Well, simply put, I reached out for help to the Elden Ring community. I tried to talk to you guys. I asked, like, is there an easier mode? And all I kept getting was, get good, you filthy, disgusting, casual. You're disgusting, you're worthless, learn how to play the game. It doesn't need an easy mode. And like, all this harassment.
No, dude, that didn't happen. You didn't reach out to the Elden Ring community. You demanded that the game include an easy mode. You demanded that every game should be made for every single person, which, by the way, if that was the case, goodbye to literally every single video game ever made in the history of mankind. And you told people who enjoyed the game to go kill themselves. So, no, nobody was toxic towards you. You instigated all of that.
And then I started looking at how you treated other people that responded to this game. It was more the same thing. And as I started looking around, the landscape turned into anyone who says anything negative about Elden Ring is vilified, maliciously and relentlessly. And it just kept happening. And then, like, as I'm looking at like the game as a product with the weakest, most disgusting frame rates out there, graphics that are not next gen, which is why I said they are dog shit. Like, you can look at the art style and think you like it and call it an art style, but don't kid yourself, that is not a next gen look. The PS4 Pro or Xbox One X could have pulled that off easily. And the reality is, when you talk about that, that pisses off these gamers that identify with the product and they love it. And listen, if you love it, great. But when I said that you guys are people who have no friends, no lives, no family, you guys are basically shut-in losers for the most part, you kind of proved my point.
So you literally admit that you called these people all these really, like, just uncalled for things, unprovoked, and you're honest to God surprised why you keep getting dislike bombed on all your videos. Like, dude, guess what? If you piss people off on the internet, they are going to haunt you. It is not because they are no-life losers with no families, because guess what? Clicking on a video and clicking dislike literally takes like a second. You brought this all on yourself and you know it. You just can't admit it because you're a narcissistic little pathological liar.
I like sitting there, 12,000 people on every video I upload, downloading and ripping it down and attacking and forming like little mobs and little communities and sub-communities to just talk about me. Like, you kind of proved my point. This is not healthy behavior.
Well, you would know quite a bit about unhealthy behavior considering how much you lie.
See, typically when people buy products they're happy with, they play it, they enjoy it, they watch it, they use it. They don't sit there and form hate groups around their products to attack anyone who doesn't like their product.
Yeah, and when someone doesn't like a product, they don't usually call people who like that product no-life losers who don't have a family. They usually just explain why they don't enjoy the product and move on with their day, unlike you, as you literally just admitted.
I've run into this 3 times in my life now. 1, with the LG OLED community, 2, with the Xbox community, and now with the Elden Ring community. Out of all the products I have ever reviewed, this is the only time I've actually run into a legitimate hate community. Yes, PlayStation fanboys are totally toxic too.
So you basically just admitted that you're totally toxic because you happen to be a PlayStation fanboy.
But I've never run into the same level of like just disdain and hatred like I have here. So that says something about you guys.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, bud, because if you guys watch, just go to my channel and sort by most popular. My most popular video on my channel, which almost has 3K views. Thank you guys so much for that, by the way. But yeah, anyway, my most popular video is literally covering you, like going after the Xbox, and then the video I made following that one up, that the one that was over 2 hours long, was about your eternal war against the Xbox Series X and the Xbox community because you could not stop insulting and attacking them at every opportunity. And then you tried to claim they were harassing you.
Now, again, I own both consoles. I'm not starting the console war, blaming Xbox fans for anything, but the fanaticism is what I'm talking about. My point being is, like, I mean, you can look at every angle you want and try to paint me as a bad guy, but I really am just a TV reviewer, you know, that is a professional, that talks about professional things, measurements, you know, things like that. And it's like, you don't have to like me, but damaging reputation is not fair use. And I think that's something that none of you want to mention in your videos, as you want to make me seem like some unhinged, crazy person that shouldn't be doing any kind of contacting of anyone's mother. Wah, deal with it.
This man actually just said to deal with it over the fact that he contacted someone's mother in real life and threatened her, but he cannot just deal with it, apparently, when a bunch of random people online dislike bomb his videos and give him more ad revenue than he's probably gotten in the last 6 months combined. Dude, there is... I don't even know what to say anymore, honestly. There is just something seriously wrong with you, and you seriously need to get help.
And then, you know, you have people like Review Tech USA that wants to pretend like I wasn't hacked. Like, oh, yeah, nobody's going to impersonate you. As literally he has a moderator named Quantum TV and knows that's a fake account. So he knows the behavior is there. He's just playing stupid for the sake of the audience, for the sake of the controversy.
Okay, Quantum, let me explain something to you. Back in 2018, when you were supposedly hacked, quote unquote, you were a nobody. Why would anyone want to ruin your reputation when you have already ruined it yourself through those tweets? No one is going to go after someone who they don't even know exists. The only reason people make these fake accounts now is because people find it funny when they say really dumb stuff that you would absolutely say, but just haven't yet. You know, it's kind of hard to impersonate someone that nobody knows exists because they're that tiny. Trust me, I would know.
I get it, but it's disingenuous. And again, it's so funny. Like, even the little Mischief character out there who was sitting here and defending all his friends knows in the same breath that they're impersonation accounts. Actman and Mischief had a live stream where they were on together and literally saw multiple fake accounts. I showed that. And it's funny that, like, in the same breath, they want to be like, when somebody asks, why would anybody impersonate Quantum? And the Mischief responds with, well, because it's fucking funny.
Yeah, and like I already explained, it's because it was funny, and it still is funny.
You guys think that this kind of harassment is a game and it's funny. And that proves right there that your character hasn't changed from bully. It hasn't changed from harassment. It hasn't changed from the things that people have said about you in the past, right? Because you're pack predators. Oh no, it's Alex, Fertanga Plays, Griffin Gaming, Review Tech USA, Mischief, Asm Gold, you know, Charlie from Penguins, whatever the hell. All of you are just running together in a circle to try to damage and defame and to cancel and to be as harassing towards me as you can be. And none of this will enrich your life in any way meaningful outside of course, the money that you're getting from the controversy that you created.
Nobody created this controversy except you, my guy. But anyway, guys, that's the end of part 1. Part 2 will be up tomorrow evening. So tomorrow evening Eastern time in the United States. So yeah, look forward to that. If you like this video, leave a like. Dislike it if you didn't like it. Sub if you want to see more, especially if you're excited for part 2, because part 2... Oh boy, guys, think about it this way. We're only halfway into this video, and this entire video is, what, like 50 minutes long? So yeah, thank God I decided to split this up into 2 parts. But anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow with part 2.